What's up everybody, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 in the house, bringing to you another edition of the Arrow Season 8 review series, and today I'm going to be talking about episode 7 entitled Purgatory, which I've just finished watching, and all I've got to say is loved this episode a lot, fantastic, loved every minute of it from start to finish. Nice callbacks to season 1, especially in the earlier episodes where Oliver was trapped on the island. So this episode is kind of like going back to the beginning of sorts. So loved it all, and it was really cool to see all of Team Arrow virtually, minus Roy Harper, which I'm going to get into why we don't see him on the field, but it was really good to see everybody in costumes. Did look a bit odd seeing Connor Hawke being the only one not wearing a costume, but everything about it was excellent. So with that all said, let's get right into it. Let's talk about episode 7, Purgatory. Now this episode pretty much picks up where we left off from last week's episode entitled Reset, and in this episode the Monitor has ordered Oliver and Team Arrow to be on Lian Yu to build a crisis-stopping weapon which is going to help them stop the crisis. Lila reveals that the weapon that they've been asked to build won't stop the crisis, but it will help the heroes that can stop it. So obviously John Diggle is still pissed that his own partner Lila would keep such a big secret from everyone, including him, which is understandable. And it's really good to see they have carried on from that episode, and we get more of an insight into exactly what Lila's role is as the Harbinger, who she is working very closely with the Monitor. So we get to learn more about that, and also in this episode Oliver finally reveals to his children, William and Mia, that the Monitor has seen his fate and I can't change it, and I'm destined to die. So William doesn't take the news very well, but he takes it better than Mia. Mia, being Mia, storms out and says, I'm not going to just stand here and let you accept the fact that you're going to die. This is not fair. So lots of surprises and shocking moments in this episode, but overall very, very well done. Also, Lila explains to Diggle that the Monitor has been acting as a guardian angel of sorts for the past few years, and she also explains that he was the one that rescued her and her unit from an IND when they were stationed in Afghanistan. So in a way, her working with the Monitor is kind of like she's in the Monitor's debt, so to speak. So her role is merely to bring all of the heroes together to stop the crisis from happening. Boy oh boy, just talking about this is getting me really, really excited, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. Meanwhile, Dino, Roy and Renee are travelling to Lian Yu separately on a jet, and they are hit by a rocket grenade which splits the wreckage up and splits all members of the group, and we see that Renee is severely injured but okay. Dino is okay as well, but we also see Roy is trapped underneath the wreckage with his left arm completely crushed. Now some of you probably have read The Dark Knight Returns, and some of you have probably remember that the Green Arrow lost his arm and had his arm amputated by Superman. Now, going back to, I think, Legends of Tomorrow season 1, we saw a much older Oliver Queen with one arm. So it's kind of cool that we kind of get a little homage to that scene where Roy is trapped under the wreckage, well, his arm is actually, and Diggle and everyone is trying to get him out so desperately, and Connor says that the only way we're going to save Roy is we're going to have to cut him loose, we're going to have to amputate his arm. And Diggle, being a former serviceman of the army himself, he says, no, this is not the way. We have to do something. We can't just give up. We can't just leave him here. He goes, we're not going to leave him here, says Connor. We're going to cut him through. So the next thing you know, the team, it's quite sick, this scene. They cut his arm off. And it was quite a painful scene, a bit of a graphic scene, but it's really cool that they've paid homage to that moment where Oliver lost his arm due to Superman from The Dark Knight Returns. So we got a nice little shout out to that. So I liked that a lot. I thought that was a very gruesome but shocking moment at the same time. So hats off to them. I thought that was really, really good. And I like the way Diggle just refuses to give up. That's what I've always liked about John Diggle in the show. He's a guy that, just like Oliver, he will find a way to save someone or die trying. So David Ramsey really kicked a lot of ass in this episode. He was definitely the standout guy in this one, and I really enjoyed it. He owned this episode. He really showed why he's a big part of the show for so many years. And John Diggle is a soldier. He's a warrior through and through, and he's been on this journey with Oliver from the very beginning, and he just gets better and better. So I loved him. He's the man. He's definitely my favourite after Oliver. He really cemented himself in this scene in so many ways, and throughout the whole episode, really. So mega props to him. He's the man. One of the other main things that I've loved about this episode, and especially in season 8, is we're finally getting to see more and more of Oliver and Laurel working together. And it's quite funny because when you look back at the earlier seasons, especially with the original Laurel, we never really got to see Oliver and Laurel working together as a team, just the two of them. I mean, they did work together in the bigger team overall, but we never really got to see Green Arrow and Black Canary, just the two of them, like they do in the comics. So I'm really enjoying seeing these two working together in this season, and I love the chemistry between Stephen Amell and Katie Cassidy. They've been kicking a lot of ass, and I think it's only fitting that because it's the last season that we do actually get to see Oliver and Laurel working together more, especially when fans have been clamouring for it for many, many years. So I'm really glad to see that they're doing that, and I really enjoyed it a lot. So Oliver and Laurel go to the crash site where Dinah and the team crash landed, and they run into two blasts from Oliver's past who were previously on the island and passed away, and that's Edward Fires and Jarl Fee. Now these two are Deathstroke associated mercenaries, so we got to see Oliver and Laurel kicking all their asses, so that was a lot of fun. Now Jarl Fee was kind of like an old mentor to Oliver back in the earlier seasons when Oliver was trapped on the island. If you remember, throughout those flashbacks you saw these two working together, and he helped him survive. So we got to see him again, and we got to see how he helped him out one more time. And also we saw these two get caught up in a net, and Jarl Fee helps strung them out and they both escape. And one of the best scenes that I liked about this episode was we got to see Team Arrow in full costume, minus Connor Hawke, sorry, and Fire's men just all go at it. And it's scenes like this where you have everybody there in costume just kicking ass, and I loved it. It was a tremendous moment, and as I've said already, that this being the final season, it's only fitting that we see all these guys fighting side by side one more time before the big impending crisis hits us all. So this was a tremendous scene. Now while everybody else is fighting, Oliver and William begin powering up the device, but it's revealed that Oliver isn't the one that powers it. The Monitor made sure that Lila is the one that powers it. She is the welder of the world-saving device. So obviously that pisses off Diggle even more. It's like, for God's sake, is there anything else you're not telling us? I mean, come on. So Lila turns it on and it instantly disperses all the fires and all of his men. So the second time she gets to use it, she steps through a portal, obviously to reconnect with the Monitor ahead of the crisis. So in this episode we're seeing Lila embracing the Harbinger roots, so we know that she's preparing everyone for the impending crisis. So as we're wrapping this episode up, we see Oliver and Mia have a little heart-to-heart saying, I've just got to know you more and I don't want to lose you. So that was a really touching scene. And in a way, I know the show's not actually over yet, but in a way this kind of feels like the series finale, and we see Oliver and Diggle have a great scene together, and I love their relationship. It's the best thing I love about Arrow, and we see these two have a nice heart-to-heart, and Oliver says that, I could not have done any of this without you. You've been my rock. You've been more than just a friend. You've been like a brother to me, and I want to thank you for everything that you've done. And he asks him, can you do me one final favour? And Diggle says, sure, whatever you need. He says, when this crisis is over, I need you to return William and Mia back to 2040 before the crisis begins. And Diggle says, consider it done. So that was really good. I'm hoping, it's a big hope, I know, but I'm hoping the next time these two are together we see John Diggle as the Green Lantern. I'm really hoping for that. We've not seen that been addressed yet. I'm hoping in the crisis we will see the Green Lantern John Diggle question finally be addressed, because we ain't got long left. So after everyone leaves, Oliver and Mia have their heart-to-heart, and wait for it, the skies turn red. We see Lila walk out of the portal in her full Harbinger outfit, and she says, it's time, Oliver. The crisis has begun. And that's how it ends. Wow. If that doesn't leave you on the edge of your seat, I don't know what will. But all I've got to say is episode 7 kicked a lot of ass, and I absolutely loved it. So there you have it, guys. That was episode 7, Purgatory. Now I'm going to leave this here for all of you guys. Now I just wanted to mention that the next episode I'm going to review is obviously episode 8, which is part of the Crisis crossover. What I'm going to be doing is I will be talking about all 5 parts of Crisis. So the next time you'll hear from me I'll be talking about the Arrow side of the Crisis, and you'll be able to see that in the brand new Crisis on Infinite Earths review series that I've just put the intro out there for everyone, so make sure you keep an eye on that. So as I said, I'm going to leave this here for you guys. What did you think of episode 7? Did you enjoy it? What was your favourite moment? What's your thoughts on Roy Harper having his arm amputated in a very similar manner to how Oliver had his arm amputated back in the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel? Leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see you all next time for The Crisis. So till then, take care everybody.